Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming a little bit of a different video. I mentioned this in my last video that I uploaded that I wanted to tell you guys about the absolute hair disaster that I had at the beginning of this year. So if you're interested in hearing the now hilarious story, it was not funny at the time, just keep watching. So it all started when I would say my ex Nathan and I broke up, and if you are a normal human being, you would know what it's like when you end a relationship. You always like, okay, what can I do to completely, absolutely change myself? Weird, I don't know, especially us girls, I don't know why we do it, but we do. So I dyed my hair bright pink. I didn't bleach it or anything, I just bought this box dye from Woolworths. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's not even a box dye, they come in tubes. There's pink, blue, and red or purple. They're in like this white tube, and I bought 2 tubes of that, and with a friend of mine, Alana's help, we just completely doused my hair in it, and my hair was bright pink. Loved it. I think I did it about twice or 3 times, so I'll insert a photo here of what that looked like, and as you can see, it's pretty bright. That photo was from about September last year. And it probably lasted that bright for about a week, and then it started to wash out. And obviously, because my natural hair is about sort of like a mousy brown, obviously it's not going to last that long and be that vibrant. So then it started to fade, and it started to fade each time I dyed it. I let it go, but the last time I dyed it was in September. And then it started to fade out to like a chocolatey reddy brown, which is really pretty, but I was just completely getting over my hair. I was just really sick of it, sort of just not really having not even a style, because I didn't get it cut into a style, but just, I don't know, it had just faded to like this pretty, just like a meh brown color, and I sort of wanted to change. It was the end of last year. It was in between Christmas and New Year's. I had been thinking about it for a while. I got the bright idea that I wanted to balayage my hair or ombre it, whatever you call it. And so I found a couple of photos that I really liked the look of, because before I had dyed it hot pink, I had my natural hair color, but if you guys go back to like the very first few of my videos, I actually had blonde hair. So the ends of my hair before I dyed it pink were blonde, and I just sort of really liked the way that looked, because the thing I like about balayage is you don't have to do anything to it. You can sort of just let your hair grow out, if that makes sense. It still looks good. A couple of days before Christmas, the shopping centre that I used to work at, because I didn't, and I still don't really, I didn't have a hairdresser. I hadn't been to the hairdressers in years. I hadn't found one that I was like, oh my god, I really love this person. So I had not yet built that bond, you know, as you do with a normal hairdresser. So I decided to go walk around the shopping centre that I used to work at and kind of just suss out the different hairdressers. And I went to one, and they wanted to charge like $400 or something, and I was like, I do not have that kind of money, not going to happen. So I went to another hairdresser's, and this flamboyantly gay guy came to me because I went and stood at the reception desk. And he was like, hey, lovely, like, what can I do for you? And I was like, oh, you know, I was like, I'm looking to get my hair balayaged, blah, 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 blah. Showed him some photos, and he was like, oh my god, like, of course, oh my god, it's going to look amazing. He was so excited. He was like, of course I can do that for you, babes. It's going to look absolutely amazing. Oh my god, you're going to look so hot. I'm so excited. And he was like coming across really lovely and really confident. So I was like, fuck yeah, book me in. I think they wanted to charge me like $260, which was a lot of money, but at the same time I was like, it's reasonable from what I know about hair prices. So I left feeling absolutely on top of the world. I made it for like maybe like a week later. So I left, and I was like, yes, my hair's going to look amazing. This guy is so confident. I'm so excited. All week, because this is quite a drastic change, all week I was looking at the photos, because I did show him the photos. So I was looking at the photos, and I was like, yes, I'm so excited. I mean, obviously, like, I studied hairdressing in school, and I know a little bit about hair. So I know that obviously hair texture is different, hair takes color differently. So I wasn't looking at these photos going, this is exactly what I want my hair to look like, but along the same pages would be nice. My appointment day comes, and it was a Thursday, and I think my appointment was at like I don't know. So my appointment was at like 12. So I walk in, I'm super excited, and the guy does not remember making my appointment whatsoever. And I was just like, oh, you said that we could do balayage and be really awesome. And he was like, oh my God, babes, for sure. I did the whole spiel again. And I was like, you don't even remember me, but whatever. I showed him the photos again, and I said to him, I was like, listen, so this was end of December. I said, my hair color at the moment is not my natural hair. I said, I have had pink dye in it. I was like, I've dyed it pink about 3 times, but I haven't bleached it. So whatever it is now is just faded out from the last time I dyed my hair pink at the end of September. So he was like, yep, no worries, that's fine. And he sort of, I can say whatever I want to say because I haven't even mentioned the places. He, to me, seemed like he was on drugs. He was just like really sort of just not that with it. And so I was like, I prefaced to him, I've had pink hair. There might still be like, you know, the pink might still be in my hair. He was like, yeah, babes, it's fine, whatever, you know, woo, we'll do it, so excited. And I was just like, okay. And any normal person has like a slight level of anxiety when it comes to going to the hairdressers anyway, because I mean, it's your fucking hair, like, you know. And so, but, you know, he did seem really confident and everyone there was really nice. I was like, okay. So he's like, all right, babes, take a seat, sit down, and I'll be right back. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm just going to mix up the colors for you. And I was like, all right. Take my glasses off, he puts the cape on me, and he comes back, and he starts slapping, by slapping, I mean slapping on this brown dye on the, because I think I did say I wanted it to be like an ashy brown on the roots and then fade into like an ashy blonde. So he gets this brown hair dye and he's just slapping it all over my head. It's fucking going on the floor. It's going on my face. It's going on the mirror, slapping it on. And I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, whatever. An artist is an artist. Like, I'm not going to judge how you're doing your work. I don't really give a shit as long as, in my head, I'm like, as long as it comes out how I want it to come out, I don't care. It's just dripping everywhere. It's dripping on the floor. He's like, oh my God, babes, it's going to look amazing. He's like parting my hair, slapping it on. And I was just like, this is so not, So once he does that, he then is like, babes, I'm just going to go mix the bleach, okay? And I was like, yep, no worries, that's fine. Comes back, starts putting the, you know, the foils, I don't know, whatever the hairdressers do, grab a bit of hair, bleach it, foil, whatever. And then with balayage, obviously, you need to like, so it's not like brown and blonde, they sort of like need to feather it up a little bit. So he's doing that, and in my mind, I was like, I've had pink in my hair. If you're bleaching my hair that's had pink in it, I feel like it's going to go bright pink. But I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. He's a hairdresser. I'm a makeup artist. I know makeup. You know hair. We'll just, you know, that's fine. So I've been sitting there, and I was sitting there with the bleach on my hair for probably like 40 minutes. And I'm slightly like, okay, this is a really fucking long time. And I'm sort of just like, okay, anytime now, surely someone's going to come up and check on my hair, because my hair had not, no one had even peeked to check the color. So he comes over and he's like, oh, babes, like, oh, I'll check your hair. And I was like, okay. So he comes over and, as they do, lift a bit of the foil. And I was obviously looking at him in the mirror, and his face just went, now that is not a face that you want your hairdresser to pull. And he was like, oh, have you had like pink in your hair? And I was like, yes. I was like, I've told you this twice now, I've had pink in my hair. And I could see as he lifted it, sure enough, where he had put the bleach was turning fluoro pink / pastel pink, which looked pretty, but it's just not what I wanted. So I was just like, oh my God, my hair is pink. And he was like, babes, don't worry about it. We'll come over to the sink, we'll wash it out, and I'll you know, it's gonna look amazing. And he didn't even like really make that big of a deal that like it was pink. So I was like, okay. So I'm lying in the sink, and there was about, I think, 4 other like sinks, basins, whatever they're called, and there was another 3 ladies, so all the sinks were full. So I'm lying there, and he's taking out the foils, and I can sort of hear / slightly see the other hairdressers as he's taking it off and starts washing it. They're all going, and he was like, and I was just like, oh my God, this is not what you want your fucking hairdressers. That is like the worst sound that a hairdresser can make when they're doing your hair. So I'm just like, And I could sort of like, you know how you can just read situations. I can't remember what he said, but he was starting to like freak out, and he was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And see, the way he was acting and walking around the salon, I assumed that it was his, because he was walking around telling people what to do. Like, I just, from his presence and how he was acting, I thought it was his salon. So another lady was like, just mix up a tint, it's fine, mix up a tint, we'll put the tint over it. And I'm just like, this is not, what the fuck is going on? And at the whole time, no one had said to me, this is what's going on, but we're going to fix it. They all just pretended like it was like I wasn't actually a person, it was just hair. So they put a tint on it, and I'm sitting in the chair like freaking the fuck out, like what the hell is happening to my hair? So in my mind, I thought, okay, they've put a tint over it, so that means the blonde isn't going to be super blonde, so therefore they're going to, you know, re-bleach it. So we get back in the chair, and he starts blow drying my hair. And as if you guys don't know, I suffer from anxiety. And in those situations, my anxiety is on like a whole nother level. So I'm sitting there internally freaking the fuck out. My hair was wet, so I couldn't really see what it was. Now that I've got blonde on the ends, you can tell when your hair is blonde when it's wet. At the time, I didn't know. So he starts blow drying it, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's blow drying it because he wants to see what the color looks like, and then he'll go back over it, because I used to actually be like quite platinum blonde. And there was once or twice where the lady that used to do my foils would blow dry my hair just to see what the color looks like and see if we needed to, you know, add more color, bleach or blonde or whatever. So he's blow drying it, and then he starts running his fingers through my hair. I forgot to mention, before he started blow drying, he was like, do you want to trim? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So he's just literally picking up pieces of my hair and snipping them and snipping them and snipping them, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? You're chopping my hair. I don't know where the short bits are, but I still have bits in the back of my hair that are like that much shorter than the rest of my hair, because he just started hacking my hair, and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. So he's blow drying it, just finished blow drying it, and he starts, and I purposely did not look up from my phone while he was blow drying it, because I was like, I know this is not going to be what I want. So I look up, and I was just like, oh my God, what have you done to my hair? So he starts running his fingers through my hair and is trying to talk me into liking it. Now, insert a photo here of what my hair color actually looked like. And as you can see, it is not ombre, nor is it blonde, nor is it brown. And these photos don't even... The photos that I took don't even make it look as bad as what it was. So he's running his fingers through my hair, and he was like, babes, oh my God, it looks amazing. Like, I know it's a little bit darker than what you wanted, but look how, like, you're still getting the beautiful ombre look. And mind you, what you can't see in those photos is there was like a really, really, really yellow tinge, right? Like a yellow, not even blonde, a weird yellow-green tinge at the top, and then it was red, and then I had bits of yellow-green pieces in my hair. Like, it was absolutely atrocious. And I was just like, and it was to the point where he was trying to talk me into it so much. I was like, this guy thinks that he's done a good job. So I was like, this is nothing what I wanted it to look like. And I pulled up the photos of like the hair that I originally wanted, and I like held it up, and I was like, this does not look anything, this does not resemble, then no, it's not the same thing. And then I could see he started to freak out because he thought I wasn't going to say anything. And I was like to him, and I say this to every hairdresser, even the hairdresser that just did this hair, I was like, I'm not a fussy person. I was like, my hair is not like my life, but it's still obviously an important part. I was like, this is nothing, this is not even a hair color, this is colorful rainbow. And so by this point, it was only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was probably like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so he goes, okay, well, and then he seemed really irritated that I was not happy with what he was done. And I was just like, how the fuck could anyone be happy with this? My hair is like yellow, purple, pink, and every color in the rainbow. So he was like, all right, so what I'll do is you can come back tomorrow and I'll fix it up for you. And I was like, all right. And then in my head, I was like, I don't want you to fucking touch my hair again. So he was like, well, I can't remember what they said, but they basically said that they still wanted me to pay. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not paying the full $260. I was like, this is not what I wanted. I was like, I will come back tomorrow, but I was like, you've put me out and done you've fucked up my hair, and now you want me to pay the full amount and come back tomorrow. I could have had plans, whatever. So I think I ended up paying like maybe like $200, $180, $190, $200. And he was like, come back tomorrow in the morning. The shopping centre opened at 9:30. So he was like, come back tomorrow first thing in the morning and I'll fix it up for you. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So then I met Frankie because he was at work and he took a smoke break to come see my hair. And the poor thing, he was so like lovely and he was like, no, it doesn't look as bad. And I was like, it fucking does. It looks disgusting. He's now said since to me, it looked really bad, but he did not want me to see that he thought it looked bad. So I was just like a wreck. I came home. I was like, my hair, what the fuck have they done to it? So I went back the next morning, 9:30. I think I probably got to the salon at about quarter to 10. So I go in and luckily, see the guy hadn't even said what his name was. Luckily, I had heard one of the other hairdressers say his name, so I knew what it was. So I went into the salon and I was like, hi, I feel like I can say his name. I was like, hi, is Brendan here? And the girl at the desk she was the one that had sort of been helping him to make it look a lot less harsh for me to be able to leave. So she didn't remember me straight away, because keep in mind the photos that I showed you of my hair, that was not it at its worst. So she didn't recognize me straight away, and I was like, oh, Brendan was doing my hair yesterday, he told me to come back. And she was like, oh shit, yeah. She was like, oh, actually, he's not in yet. And I was just like, isn't he just? So I take a seat and this lovely, lovely girl comes over and she was just like looking at my hair, clearly like, what the fuck has happened to your hair? Because it honestly looked like a 5-year-old had done it. And she was like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? And I was like, Brendan did it yesterday. Because I was like, fuck it, I don't care if I'm being a bitch. I don't care if I'm making him out to be like a bad hairdresser or whatever. I was like, actually, Brendan did this to my hair yesterday. And she was like, and he let you leave like this? And I was like, yeah, I found that quite weird, because in my mind, any normal hairdresser, if they fuck up your hair that much, they should keep you there, or at least say to you, do you want to stay and I'll fix it, or do you want to come back in the morning? And she was like, I can't believe he let you leave like this. She was like, I don't even understand. She's like, what did you want done? And I showed her the photos, and I showed her the photos of what my hair used to look like. And she was genuinely like, I have no idea what the fuck you did to your hair. And I told her, I was like, it did have leftover pink dye in it, but I was like, I told him that. And she was just like, oh my God. She was like, what did they do? So I told her the whole story, and I was like, and then he put a tint over it. And she was like, what? So she was absolutely taken aback. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'll fix it for you. So she fixed it to the best that she could. It was still, I think I've probably got a couple of photos. It was still quite, it was a lot darker than what I wanted on the roots, and that was because there was just so much fucking color. She's like, I'll go as light as I can. And she was really lovely. She came over and bought me like the little, like the big books that have like the little hair swatches in it. So we're going through colors, and she showed me the lightest that I could go, which was still like quite a dark chocolate brown on my roots. She's like, it will fade, but she's like, I can't go any lighter, otherwise it won't cover the colors. And I was like, that's fine. So she did the best balayage that she could, and yeah, so that was my hair disaster. I left. I didn't obviously pay any more money, but I have since told everybody that I know to never go there. And yeah, so like I said, I'm not super fussy with my hair, but that was just like the worst hairdresser's experience I have ever had in my entire life. So yeah, that's why when I got this done to my hair, I was very apprehensive, because I was just like, oh my God, what if she fucks it up? She still didn't do exactly what I wanted to do, but it's still quite presentable, and I really, really like it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little horror hair story. I am going to now stop filming this and go finish watching Room 1408. I've seen it like 100 times, and it's still like one of my favorite horror movies ever. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!